4 years ago, there was an 8-year-old, and he wanted only one thing at the time: to be a YouTuber, to make people smile, to make people laugh, and ultimately, to make people happy. And now, 4 years later, that 8-year-old is now 12, and that 8-year-old is me. And I'm so grateful that I've gotten the opportunities that I have. Hello everybody, welcome back to Nt4C Productions. In today's video, we're going to be doing a Q&A, and I'm going to be answering some of the questions that you guys asked on Instagram. So let's get into it. Up first, we have a question from Nathan Horn 08, who asks, what is my favorite custom that I've ever made? And to be honest, it's gotta be my Scarecrow custom. I put so much effort into that custom, and I love all the way that all the soft good materials look, and I think it just came out really, really well. And I love the documentary Scarecrow episodes. Episode. Let me know if you guys want to see more documentary episodes, because I really loved making that one. Next, we have a question from my sister, who is my favorite sibling. I cannot answer that. Then there's another question from my sister about who inspired me to start my stickbot collection, and that was my sister. And it's a really funny story, because back when I was 7, all I would talk about was Pokemon. I was obsessed with Pokemon. But then my sister, she was just done with me talking about Pokemon all the time, and she told me, you should play with this guy, because I got a stickbot a few years before, and I didn't use it that much. And then I used it, and then I got obsessed with it, and now I have too much. But thanks to my sister, I got to do all this amazing stuff. So, thank you. Next, we have a question from Stick Pet Party. What is my favorite stickbot color? And that's a very difficult one. If we're talking about normal stickbots, it's gotta be glitter blue. But if we're talking about prototype stickbots, it's probably the gold with white suction cups. It's just so shiny, and owning it, owning it myself, I can confirm how shiny it is, and dude, it's awesome. So, yeah, I gotta say, it's gold with white suction cups is probably my favorite. But if you want to talk about one-of-a-kind monster stickbots and not just normal stickbots, it's gotta be my blue werewolf and cyborg, because I love those. They are my prized possessions, and I love them. So, yeah. Next, we have another question from Stick Pet Party. What is my favorite stick pet? If I gotta be honest, it's gotta be that new, mint cat that came out recently in the family pack, because it just looks I love that color. But if you're talking about, molds, I love the OG dog, and if they made a mint dog, then I would love that. That would be amazing. So, yeah. Then there's another question by Stick Pet Party asking, if I were to create a stick pet, what would it be? And they did not make enough stick pets. They need to make more stick pets, and there are so many animals that they could have done. Honestly, I love the idea of a stickbot pig, and I also think if they made stickbot birds, that would be awesome. And if they made a bald eagle, that would be amazing, because a bald eagle is my favorite animal. But for normal, other four-legged animals, it'd be a pig, which would probably just be really easy. All that it really have to do is take a dog body and then make a new head. But stickbot doesn't make new molds anymore, so it's really sad, because we might not get another stick pet ever, but we need to really bad, and I hope they do. Next, we have a question from Charlotte Ray 22, and the question is, if I were to collab with any stickbot YouTuber, who would it be? And that is an amazing question. For people who I have collabed with, obviously I love working with Clay. Clay is awesome. He is such a nice guy, and working with him is always a pleasure. And working with Lucas for the Green Stickbot collab was really fun. And I was actually supposed to be in the Sticky Boys 10 Years of Stickbot special, but they forgot to put my line in. But that's okay. But but working with those two guys is always really fun. But for people I haven't collabed with, I want to work with Goose, that Stickbot channel, because anyway, working with Goose seems fun because he makes really good stuff. And I think it'd be really fun to do some sort of collab with all of the Sticky Boys. I think that would be fun. And I would really love to be on the What's Your Stickbot Story podcast, because I just think that would be really cool. Also, working with StickPet would be fun. And, honestly, I could go on for hours talking about this topic, but I'm not going to, because there's a ton of cool Stickbot YouTubers that I love to collab with. But, yeah. Up next, we have a question from my mom. What is my favorite project that I've ever worked on? And, to be honest, it's either The Scarecrow or The War Season 2 Episode 1. By the way, War Season 2 Episode 2 probably coming January 2026. I know it's been a while. The reason being is the War Season 2 Episode 1 was, the biggest project I had at the time. And it took so long. It was just so worth it to me. And it still is. And the reason why I love The Scarecrow is just I love the creepy vibe of it. And those were, my biggest, animation projects that I'd worked on before, but that's gonna change really soon. Just you wait. There's a lot coming. And then we have another question from my mom. How does it feel to win a Stickbot contest? Amazing. That's the only word I could describe it. It's just amazing. I felt so self-accomplished when I won both of those contests. The, summer one and the custom one back in 2022, which was 3 years ago now, which is crazy. But yeah. Then the final question from my mom: do I have any projects in the works? Yes. 2026 is going to be a amazing year for the Nt4C channel and the Nt4C Instagram. So just you wait. Everything in 2026 is going to be hopefully bangers. Then there's another question from Nathan Horn08. What is a custom that I would like to make in the future? There's a lot of them being original characters, but one category of customs that I'd like to make is Stranger Things customs. I'm actually working on some right now. I'm 90% done with the 11 custom, and everyone else is started. And another custom that I want to make is the Spider-Man Brand New Day suit. It just seems to take a little bit, but that's okay because the movie comes out next year, so I'm fine. But that's all I can think of right now. And then we have the final question from my dad. Who is my favorite post-production assistant? And it's my dad, because he helps me upload every video. I make every video, but he helps me upload every video. So, yeah, that's all the questions. I just want to say thank you for these last 4 years. These have been the best years of my life. And I am eternally grateful for each and every one of you. And to surprise you all, I have a special little trailer for you. Cue the clip.
You are weak, Noah. But I can change that. Shake my hand. I can make all the pain